Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. On today's video, we're going to be testing out the Acmer Ascarva 4S CNC machine. This has a 400 by 400 millimeter footprint with an 80 millimeter Z clearance workspace. It comes with a 100 watt spindle. But before we go ahead and do our first test cut, let's rewind it a bit, get this thing unboxed, and get it assembled. Here we go. All right guys, now that we went ahead and we got this thing assembled, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do our very first test cut on it. I'm not gonna show you the installation because I already have my drivers installed. If you've never installed the machine, you basically have to use the SD card that it comes with. There's a, I believe it's called like a CH340 driver. You wanna go ahead and install that. Download the software that you're gonna use, whether it be Carve or Easel or MillMage or anything along those lines. You'll go ahead and start learning those. This video, obviously, we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna go into a test cut. So the one thing we're gonna do, I've never done on my channel ever before, is we're gonna do a 3D carve. Now this is ABS, it's kind of like a plastic material, it's super soft, so hopefully this should cut pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and do a 3" by 2.5", give or take, a Punisher head. So it should be kind of cool, it's my first one, I've never done it before. I went ahead and got everything squared in, I got my wasteboard, I got this done with the blue tape method. So all you need to do for that, if you've never heard of it, you need some CA glue and some spray and a little bit of blue tape. And what you do is you put some blue tape on your base and then you put your blue tape on your piece of material here, and then that way when you glue it down and it comes back up, you just remove that tape and you should be good to go. For the probing, I'm gonna actually use what they call the paper method. I have a little thin gauge here. It's actually thinner than a sheet of paper, and what I'm gonna do is bring my Z-axis down to this front corner point of the material, and then we're gonna go ahead and zero it in, make sure that that's gonna be the zero location, and then we'll go ahead and get this cut started. Right now I have a 1/8 inch 2-flute bit in here right now, and then we're going to come back with a ball nose 1/8 inch ball nose bit with a 12% overcut. This is going to be a 40% overcut. I don't have any dust vac system on this, so intermittently I'll come back and I'll go ahead and vacuum up some stuff and we'll see how this thing does. So let's go. right, guys, so we went ahead and we got the very first cut done on that, and this is my very first 3D carve. I did go a little bit slow. As a matter of fact, I posted onto, I think it was Instagram, and James Dean Design was like, man, you can go a lot faster than what I was. So I'm definitely gonna go a lot faster and give that a try and see how it does. But this material is really, really soft. It's almost like chalk in a way. I don't even know what it is. I think it's ABS. I'm not too sure, but it did a fantastic job. It cut for my very first one. I'm pretty happy with that. I will definitely save this as a memento of mine. The machine itself was very easy to put together, as you saw in the beginning. Now, I did have to do a little bit of editing onto that because, unfortunately, for some reason, I did that in slow motion with no audio. So that was a little bit of an error on my part. Of course, the build was actually very easy to do. I did make one mistake with putting on this backwards, but again, it's not going anywhere. It's not structural. For some reason, I cannot get the Z probe to work properly. I connect it to the bit, and when I touch it, it's just not recognizing. So I'm not too sure if there is something that's going on with the controller or if it's the actual probe themselves. So what I might do is contact Acmer and see if they can send me a new probe and see if it's the actual probe itself. It kind of feels like the wire is a little bit loose inside where it connects. This is the very first probe that I've actually ever seen like this. For some reason right here, I could feel that it's a little bit loose. It actually moves. So I think there's something going on with this and not the controller. So maybe we can get a new one, but it's definitely a different type of probe. You could see that right there. Let's see if it shines in. There we go. Look at that. Definitely a different kind of probe connection that I have on any of my other machines. I think if Acmer focuses on the Z axis a little bit more in the near future and do a little bit of upgrading, this machine will definitely be a top-notch machine. And at only $600, it's actually a really good deal. I will put a link in the description down below if you're interested in this machine. All right, another thing I want to mention is that we do have a new website coming up where we're going to be starting to sell merch. We have some hats listed right now, so if you're interested in that, go check out that link in the description too. All right, guys, that is it. That is the video. If you like this video, go down below, hit the like button. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Hit that big black bell button. That way you get notified of all of my newest videos. I had some really cool reviews coming up, and we might try something a little bit different on this as well in the very near future. So stay tuned for that. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. And until that next video, make sure y'all do one thing. Stay awesome. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.